talk about it now. This is The Ugly Kings, Killing Time at Cherry Bar. This is 10 tracks, 43 minutes. The first ever live album from Melbourne band, released April 2021 independently. Produced by the band, recorded by Ryan Scoble, mixed and mastered by Julian Schweitzer. This was recorded live at Cherry Bar to celebrate the reopening of the venue after their move in 2019. This digital-only release comes before the band signed to Napalm Records, and as they've got a new studio coming soon, I figured it was high time we actually got around to listening to this one. I've been aware of it for a little bit, but figured let's give this one a go. Tim, how did this one tickle your fancy?
Al, I was very interested to listen to this because I've always wanted to do a live album. But I wasn't sure how it would come across for a non-massive band.
Mm-hmm.
So I was interested to see how this one turned out. And I think, look, there's a lot to learn from it, but overall it's pretty good. If you're an Ugly Kings fan, you should definitely check it out. You'll get a lot out of it. It is a very honest representation of what the band sounds like live, which is a good thing because they're a very good band.
Mm-hmm.
These songs are fantastic. The set list is great. Flows very nicely. Guitars sound fantastic. Everything's spot on.
Christos has a great tone.
Oh yeah, and look, this is the new Cherries, the old Pony Bar upstairs. That room is great. So there's never really any doubt with this one. If I had to criticize it though, I would say I would have. They should probably have mic'd up the crowd.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Because for me, like, there's points where you can hear them go for audience interaction, and it just does not come across on the tape at all.
Yeah.
So which is kind of, which is cool when you're there, but when you're listening to it back on a live album, it would have been nice to have that control just to bump up because everything's pointed at your amps. All the microphones pointed at the amps. But just to give yourself that option of turning up the crowd when you need to. Because at points it just sounds like a dead room, which I'm sure it wasn't. Exactly. And you the last thing you don't want that to come across on a live DVD. You want it to feel like a party.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I thought it was a very good release. I put Raging Bull as my highlight just because I think it's a really cracking song. 8 out of 10.
Cool. I do sort of get the criticism put there, but at the same time, I thought that the moment on Promised Land, for example, was good enough. I suppose I was also taking it from, it was a little Melbourne band doing it independently. So, in an ideal world, you could get a bit more crowd noise, but I think that moment in Promised Land did show you the room was far from dead and gave you what you wanted in that regard. Just, could have been good to get a bit more of that, but also at the same time, the band sort of kept rolling from song to song, which is what they do live anyway. So, what it is in that regard. Look, for me, this is a cool live album that captures this band perfectly. If you've seen them at all, which some of you have out there watching us now, you'll know what I'm talking about. They are a ripping band live. Every time I've seen them play, they fucking smoked it. And if you haven't seen them live, this is a good album to check out to give you a taste what you're in for, but also do so while you can, because I think this band are going to move on to big things very, very soon. The mix itself of the band is fucking phenomenal. Everything is crystal clear. For a live show in a little Melbourne bar, I thought this sounds fantastic. The vocals are clear, the guitar tone is great, the bass, the drums, it all comes through. Nothing is muddied, nothing is drowned out. It is so well balanced for a live album in a little Melbourne bar. It's just phenomenal. It sounds world class in terms of production for the band. And that, complementing that are the performances for this one. If you like this band, I don't know, they don't put in not a dud note, not anything. I thought they smoked it performance-wise on this one. Just in case you're not familiar with the Ugly Kings, they're a more brooding kind of intense rock, loads of space with heaps of feel and soul to go with it. The term power blues is one that's been applied to them over the years, and that sums them up pretty nicely. Lots of emotion and that intensity is what gives them their kick more so than, balls out riffs. But that said, there's some pretty cool riffs and some very nice guitar work and just generally very, very good. rhythm and flow and feel go into their music as well, along with some great melodies and really smoky vocals, which is fantastic. I think that the live setting suits them well as a band because that's that little bit of a jam element comes into them a bit, and they get to play with that space a bit. Not a lot of chat really, but there's enough that, you know, like it's funny because you referenced, you know, you like bands sort of slap you over the head constantly in our last talk about the Motorhead one. These guys do the same thing, different tempo, but they just keep going, rolling through. Not a lot of chit chat there, but I thought the song choices were great. This thing flows brilliantly as a set, and you'd be riveted watching this one live. If you were in the room, watch. If you were in the room, let us know. But yeah, you'd be just locked on. You wouldn't be looking anywhere else for this one. And they'd move the gears at the right times to make this one just fly by. This just shows how good they are, and like, I don't know. For me, I'm not sure I've heard a better produced local band live album. A lot of bands have tried it, and these guys do a lot independently, or they have up until now. So I don't think I've heard a local Melbourne band do a better live album than this in terms of production. So interesting. Let me know out there if you disagree with that, but it's up there for me. I really did enjoy this one. It's so easy to repeat spin. I'm looking forward to the new album. I've had a lot of love for these guys for a long time now. Had them on the show a couple of times, but I'm keen to see what they do next. This one for me is an easy win for the year, so check it out. 9.5 from me. I fucking loved it. 9.5 out of 10. Promised Land, I loved the interaction of the crowd in that moment there. Of Sins and Little Birdie Told Me were my standouts in that. With these sorts of albums, it's going to be, you know, predetermined by what songs you think are the best ones in general, but for that one, yeah, that really did capture my attention. I loved it. So check that out.